It's Tom Gardner here, sort of midway into the third week of the season. I'm just going to give a quick yeah, quarterly roundup of what we've done so far in the first quarter of the season in Trench 6 in 2015. We had quite a slow start due to a couple of staff absences and things like that, and then we've been having quite poor weather this week, so that's inhibited our progress. But actually I'm sort of kneeling in where we've made the most progress, which is taking off almost the entirety of Burnt Mound 680, which is a massive deposit. Burnt Mound here are one of our earliest Burnt Mound deposits. We've been taking this off so that we can expose the subsoil surface under it and get that all planned, because it's got loads of negative features cut into it. That's been going on for a while. It's starting to get a little bit tedious. There are no fines whatsoever despite intensive sieving, which is a bit annoying, but equally interesting, I suppose. We're starting to realise that we always knew that these mounds weren't as simple as single deposits for the whole thing. We're starting to be able to unpick that actually in the trench, which until now we've only been able to do under the microscope. We've got different lenses of things coming out. There's a quite clay dominated lens with some redeposited admixed clay here. We're coming down on top of 6068, which is charcoal, almost entirely charcoal with very few stones and very little clay within the matrix. So we're starting to pick out sequences within the burnt mounds, which I think is indicative of our eyes getting better and more accustomed to it, particularly in this form of soil. We've not really done much in the northern part of the trench at the moment. It's all just ticking over after 6080s off. The plan is to take 6020 off, and then we'll have this whole subsoil surface with all its negative features in plan, which will be good. We have been uncovering and recording the platform features from last year, and they all seem to be ticking over nicely as well. They don't seem to have degraded at all within the last year, which is nice for our in situ preservation. So that's encouraging. Sophie's just been opening up Trench 10, which is an extension of one of our test pits, up to the southwest of Trench 6, which is now a 3x2, and the plan for that is to drop that straight through the platform, basically down to about 2 metres, in order to put a core of radiocarbon dates that we took in January into context. Fines wise, it's been a slow start to the season, as it always is in Trench 6. The dearth of fines is absolutely fascinating in itself. In front of me you can potentially see there's quite a lot of white tags which are all ripped into with cannel coal. We're getting huge amounts of cannel coal out, some of it burnt, some of it not. Which is interesting in itself because it's not supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be used until the Roman period, but we've got it here at 6,500 BP. We've got a couple of flints out from 6080 as we've been taking it off, so that's nice. And our first ever piece of burnt bone came out from an admixed clay deposit sitting below 6086. So actually, no, I said it's been a bad season for fines. It's not actually, it's been a really good season for fines, but just the majority of our work's been taken out 6080, which has nothing in it. So I think that's about us for the first quarter. We've been teaching away, which has been going really well, I think. Especially when we get little negative features like pits. I like taking students through the whole process where they find the pit, they record it pre-X, and then they excavate it, and then they do all the recording and sampling and everything. I like that because it gives them the whole, all of the skills they need basically to take forward, and they will end up digging pits if they go into archaeology a lot. So it's a useful skill for them to learn. The ASAPs, Sophie and Alex are doing admirably. We're trying something different today when they're in charge for today, so they're making all the decisions, hence why they've got me in a particularly muddy bit, which is kind of them. And yeah, they seem to be doing fine. The teaching is going well. We've been resorting the fines archive and doing loads of timber recording forms on wet days and things like that. So it's been an alright start to the season. Hopefully when we get a few more student numbers it'll start to heat up a bit and we'll start to get more people in the trench and more dirt moved, basically.